Sick.
Start recording. Start streaming. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the drum stream. We are so happy to be here.
What's up, man?
We're happy to be here with our guest, Jack Perry. As always, I'm Matthew Elton Smith from Long Beach, California, and Brandon Medellin from Austin, Texas. We're stoked to be here on the drum stream. This is episode 8 of the drum stream. Trucking along, you guys, trucking along. Um, so Jack, what's what's filling your bucket lately, man?
What's filling my bucket? Just a lot of remote recording nowadays. That's
That's
kind of
good.
what everyone's doing. Uh, I started that trek like 3 years ago when I finally got like a little space in this tiny house in El Monte, and then yeah, and then quarantine kind of worked out in a way because now I can harness those skills a little bit better. I'm glad I got started a little early. Not
Feel
too many
that.
gigs, you know.
You were
But
you were gigging in Long Beach for a while though, right? I remember you were in the hood every now and then.
yeah, I had like a bi-monthly gig in Long Beach, and yeah, and then the new normal happened.
Good.
And now we're here.
Well, heck yeah. Um, so what about you, Brandon? What's filling your bucket?
I recorded my new album in 2 days, and yeah, that's about it. That and um, trying to think. Yeah, and then I think I started a new record that I'm gonna put aside too.
No
Just
way.
kind of started. So I'm working on 2 records right now. That's about it. Just grinding.
Dang. I saw your story the other day. You were listening to something. You just did this
Oh
little
yeah,
slow zoom in. Was that part of it?
yeah. That was definitely that's like the new. I'm doing like a kind of like a South American record, like a kind of like not a bossa record, but just kind of like a Latin fusion, more, but like more poppy instead of experimental or technical.
Cool. Man, that's awesome. Let's see. What's filling my bucket? Um, I just finished up a project with Greg Lewis. We're doing a tabla duo, and
Love that guy.
yeah, Greg's crazy. Greg guested the stream as well, and yeah, or he's finishing the editing on this tabla duo that we did, and it's pretty cool because at the end, uh, no spoilers, but at the end we do the T high on the drum set with the tabla. It's gonna be a pretty killing video. He's gonna
Sick.
release that for. I'm not sure if it's gonna be for his some sort of recital, but it's gonna be some sort of video for Cal Arts where he attends. So that's pretty cool. Um, man, what else is good? Man, I got a Model D yesterday. I'll show you a little Pete, little Pete.
Oh
Got the Model
yeah,
D. Um,
nice D, dude.
thanks, dude. Yeah, my D is fat right now, and the it's a really sick synth actually. For all the drummers out there that want to get into synthesizers, I wouldn't directly recommend the D because it's you have to build all your patches. There's no presets. It's all just a bunch of waves, so you have to like learn synthesis. And full disclosure, like I know nothing or little. I shouldn't say nothing. I know little about synthesis, so this is gonna be a crash course in getting my own sounds, and so that's cool. Yo yo, we got our first chat. If you're in the chat, say what up. Um, what up? New York City's in the house. Um, and
Hell
so
yeah.
yeah, man, it's gonna be an interesting time here. I saw this shirt the other day and it says, "Lord, forgive me for my synths." Not me. He's spending his stimmy check on the OP1. Ooh, Oh, you mean the OP1? Yeah. We're here.
Stimmy Turner.
I'm kind of a gear nut, you guys. Stupid. But you know the story about how I got
Yeah.
my OP1 is that, and I hope this person is one day gonna listen to this, but I had someone that actually just let me borrow it and has never asked for it back. That's the end of the story. That's as much as I'm telling. So I hope that they listen, because
Pays to have friends like that.
and I feel guilty, but I also feel like, yo, if I gave away my OP1, I would ask for it back. Um, the guilty part of me is more guilty for not remembering who gave it to me. So
Oh shit.
this is a call out for anyone. Just kidding. If you're listening, please ask for your OP1 back, but sooner than later, you know. If
I,
you
I have somebody's amp in my house that I don't really know.
you know, we get some
And
of
I've
our
had
best
it for the
equipment that
last
way.
6 months. Like, that's the real musician shit though. If you got gear from someone you just don't fucking know, you just got it. That's how you know you're in that circle, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like the
absolutely.
music karma. It's like the music karma. Man, I need a bass amp. Oh, my friend has a bass amp. Let me borrow it. And you never.
He's like the guy on the couch in Half Baked. You know,
Yeah.
always a guy on the couch. It's always
Yeah.
amp, left, cables.
Cables, power cables, you know. How many power cables do you have in your cable drawer? If you got a cable drawer. If you're lucky enough to have a cable drawer.
I got multiple cable drawers.
I have a lot of junk drawers.
I don't want to flex, but
I need to be on that. I need to be on that, man. To be honest, because
Yeah.
I'd be running in a field of snakes in my house sometimes.
For sure. Yeah, if anyone's I like this whole what am I gonna spend my stimulus check on? If you know already, drop it in the chat. But what are you guys gonna save it? I mean, I know it hasn't, it's not official, but it's 95% there, I'd say. Are you guys gonna get any gear with it?
I already know what I'm gonna buy.
You could almost buy that. You can almost buy a sweet CNC.
Yeah,
I mean, at least.
I think. Yeah, you could, yeah, but I can't.
What about you, Jack? What you gonna get?
I feel like I'm always spending money on mics now. That's
Man,
just like my
that's
new
real.
thing, and I want to spend money on drums. You know, because I have basically I just get pieces of drums all the time, so that I can just switch out little bits.
New crash and
You
hat.
know, it's kind of like I only have one full drum set, I think.
Like matching,
know.
rather, or like you just have
Yeah,
bits and
matching.
pieces. Gotcha. Is that Gretsch?
Matching, yeah, like, yeah.
Ooh.
I would love to get like, you know, a brand new like, just regular drum set. I don't think I've ever had that.
What sizes?
Probably like, you know, 20-inch kick or 22, something standard, and then like 3 toms.
Like just
You know?
traditional 5-piece.
Yeah, like doom doom doom.
Yeah.
You know, like a regular person.
Ooh.
Even when I had like a full drum set, I would have like 2 floor toms, and I'd be like, "This is rad. I've always wanted this." I'm like, you know, Bonham. I'm super cool. But you know, sometimes you just want that semblance of normalcy.
Sure. Sure.
You know, like
Yeah. Whoa. Is that me or you guys? No, I was kidding. So yeah, I don't know. You brought up mics, and I was looking at the SE Electronics mics. They have a. Have you gone through and checked those out?
mm-mm.
It's like a $800 mic pack, but it's, you know, it has a nice kick mic. I guess the kick mic is, I mean, I've heard people say it's better than the Beta 52. I don't know what you use. I mean, some people use the AKG on the kick, and I think that's better than the Beta 52. I have a Beta 52.
D112.
Yeah, the D112. But yeah, this one called the V Kick on there is like a $200 kick microphone, has multiple but it's like a I don't know. I guess they're all dedicated kick mics. This one has like different settings for different types of punch. I guess the customization of your sound. They give you more options. That's kind of nice. Nice overheads, tom mics, like a 57 clone kind of deal. And not we're not like Sweetwater affiliated or anything, but I was checking Sweetwater and they you can pay $17 a month for 2 years and have that kit. That was so enticing. It's like, how many subscriptions do you own that you can write off instead? I could cancel my Dan Weiss Patreon subscription and get a new microphone pack.
You moved on to Sweetwater from Dan Weiss.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, dude. I've been on that Dan Weiss kick for a minute though. His Patreon's great.
He's amazing, man.
I was gonna ask Jack. Jack, do you have a AKG P220?
No.
I used that for vocals on a track this weekend. Changed my life. I was like, damn, this is crazy.
Is it like a large diaphragm condenser or something like that?
I think so. It's kind of yeah, it's pretty. What I liked about it is the way that it picks you up. It's like very like you don't have to, some mics you have to breathe into it. You have to like really like kind of like extend yourself into it. This one was just kind of like a full dynamic range, like
Easy to record too.
yeah, you can like just talk like and not stress your voice, and it picks it up very clear and loud. So,
Yeah, I personally don't do a lot of vocals myself, so I'm usually rolling, just whatever I got if I have to.
Man, I feel
can
that.
I want to
Can I
ask you
plug-
one more question. What mics do you have on your toms? Because your toms sound crazy.
I have a Sennheiser 421 on my floor tom, which is so nice.
Those
Yeah.
are nice.
And then I just use 57 on my high tom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nothing fancy.
Man, I saw this video of someone, and it's overkill, but I saw them using Beta 52s on both toms, top and bottom. And
If you got like super low toms, that's probably dope.
I guess. I just think it's crazy. Like, I've seen people, like, I saw Forrest has one of those Shure, like, pack mics, like mic pack kicks on his floor tom. I'm like, man, I've just seen more and more people using like a kick mic on the floor tom.
It's cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
yo, Jack, you should turn up more, they say.
Yeah?
Yeah, oh, that's the money
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
money
Wow.
right there.
Okay.
You were saying?
Yeah. ASMR. Yeah, I think it's cool. When I didn't have a bunch of mics and I just had like stuff, like a big box of stuff that my dad gave me that he wasn't using anymore, I used a floor tom mic or I used a kick mic on the floor tom. And it was cool. It got me a lot of the way.
Dang, you didn't use a floor tom mic on the kick drum? That'd be
Yeah,
that'd be
right.
innovation, bro.
Epic. Well, you could use that 421 on the kick and it sounds fine. You use a 57 on the kick,
Sure.
it's cool.
Yeah, anything. Do you use two mics on your kick?
Yeah. Inside mic and outside mic is just like,
What's your outside mic?
this one sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Like, I feel like it honestly,
Is that like a
it
Samson?
doesn't even matter. It's the like cheapy Samson CO1
Okay.
large diaphragm condenser. I think it's like $60 on Amazon.
Totally.
And I use it as like a talkback mic mostly. But I also use like I got these Royer R10 ribbons that are cool. Sometimes I use that on the front. But like I feel like most of the sound is going to come from your inside kick mic, and then to like fill out the kind of like puffy airiness,
Mm-hmm.
you could use like just dog shit on it. and it's fine because you're just gonna like low pass all the stuff out that you don't need, and
Right. I,
it's been working. I was surprised.
I'd be curious to know, because I've been, I mean, we've all been recording our drums more through the pandemic, and like when you're mixing, when you're mixing your kit, do you have your own kick bus? Because you're using two, so do you mix them and do you EQ them the same, or do you EQ them separately?
I do them separately
Mm.
because
And
yeah,
how
it just
so?
depends on like
I mean, the kick on the inside is getting more attack, and the one on the outside is getting more body.
yeah. So I have
What's
like goals for each one. So
okay?
the goal on the one on the inside is to get the like
The thud.
slap,
Yeah.
right? And then if I could get a little bit of like subbiness in the EQ, maybe around 60 or something around there,
Uh huh.
that's cool to just give it some punch. And then and obviously take all the information that you don't need out. I'll leave all the high stuff in that one because I obviously want that smack.
Totally.
But the outside, I really just want to concentrate on like the air, the so that can
Uh huh.
mix in with it. So I'll take all the high
Kapow.
stuff out of that one, you know?
It,
Yeah.
it makes it 3D at that point because you can animate the you know the actual you just animate the vacuum of air.
Yeah. Do you use 8 mics?
Yeah,
Sick.
usually.
And
I just started using a hi-hat mic.
is
Feels
that
Oh, that's
bougie.
I haven't, I've been running two kick mics, a room mic, two overheads kick or two overhead snare tom tom. And that's been really fun. I've been using these really lame digital reference mics on my toms though, which is, I mean, the other day I don't know if you saw this, Jack. I think maybe you commented. Actually don't remember. I got a lot of responses of the people that were asking about tom mics, the 440, the 441, or the Sennheiser mic, that one you
Oh,
have.
421. Yeah.
421 came up. Everyone's like, yeah, get 421 if you want to go big, and but other people were like, yo, maybe just get a pack, and somewhere people were mentioning the Shure microphones. The pack is good. That's why I stumbled on the SC Electronics one, but you know, yeah, I don't know. The room mic has been like the the funnest part because I just like I have the Valhalla plugins, and I just run a room like a room reverb on the room mic, and it's just like it's like better than a well, it's not better than a compressor, but it's acting as like a sick glue for everything too. When you have the room and you can kind of
Mm.
like go anywhere. It's like the aux, mic. Some people would like put it like on the worst position. That spot right above your kick drum, facing your snare.
Hmm.
Uh,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and then there's the butt mic.
what's that?
You put it right under your throne. You get a lot of the I guess you get a back image. The stereo image of the kit is always an interesting part, to
Mhm.
try to like.
Do you no, go for it, my bad.
No, I was done. Hit it, dude.
Oh, oh, sorry, it's lag. So I keep every time I punch in, I interrupt because it's lagging a little bit for me. But I was gonna say, do y'all ever do two snares on the no, not two mics on the snares,
Like top and bottom. Sure.
top and bottom? Do
Yeah.
y'all do that?
I don't do that too often, but like I said, I've been using the room mic for my like because I only have 8 channels. So if I don't have the room mic, I'll put it on the hat or I'll put it under the snare.
It's kind of like the same deal like about the bass drum with the snare. It's
Right.
like
Mm.
yeah, I like it with crank snares. Like when I record a crank because I play mostly crank snares, like it usually just sounds dead if you just use the top snare, the top mic. Just sounds like a like it's
Mhm.
not really dynamic like in the snares.
Mhm.
It isn't always, especially if you have like a deep snare like that DW man. It's a pain in the ass to record. It's a dope snare, but it's got a lot to it. It's like weird. It's funny.
I've
I
been
don't know if you watch.
go for it, Jack.
Oh, sorry. Oh yeah. So there's this YouTube channel called Produce Like a Pro that I just fucking love, dude. This
Produce like a
guy,
pro. I need to get that.
Shout
I
out
need to.
Produce
I
Like
need
a
to
Pro. Write that down.
produce like a
yeah.
pro, man.
I mean, I learned so much from his stuff. Sometimes he'll just do studio tours of, really prominent, high quality studios, and just be like, "This is what we're doing," and there's so much to get from it. He did an interview with Simon Phillips, great drummer, and he also has a great studio and he's like a great mind for recording. And he was saying he hates miking the bottom of his snare, and most of the time he won't do it. Like he's like, that's whack. And I come from always doing top and bottom because you just want that like the snare wires. You just want to like be able to
Mhm,
Mm-hmm.
you know push them up a little bit or something.
mhm.
He started miking either only the top or he mics the shell. So like
Mm,
here's the snare. He's miking like here, like
mhm.
near an air hole or something. Well, not like near an air hole because you
That
don't want to
sounds
ruin the mic,
good.
but like
Yeah. I
yeah,
also feel like that works really well with like more open drums, like opens, because like because it could work fine when you do it that way, like for fat drum, like a fat snares or something. But like I feel like for that tightness, for that like crank, like tight, like James Brown snare, like or like the jazzy snares, like I just feel like I don't know. It's just different. They're both better for different things, right? I mean, there's no like you could get crazy with mics, man. It's you can animate different things. I
Mm-hmm.
just noticed like bottom snares. Well, I don't know. It's crazy because do you use 42 strand or do you use like the regular what is it 14 or 15 strand?
I don't even know, man.
Instead of
I ha-
fat wires or skinny wires.
Yeah, long ones.
Damn.
I have I literally have snare wires that are this fat.
You got the big 42.
Yeah, that I don't even know, man.
Dang. I gotta try that. It's like
what
on the.
what is this?
That looks like a
Is that
30.
fat?
30 rack. Uh,
Try this, Matt. Try this, Matt. Like get like a. Do you have like a hot like a metal snare?
yeah, I got that
Double.
Gretsch brass.
Try a double ply on it, like a Emperor, and then get the 42 strand and then crank it.
All right.
This you'll like that. You'll be able to box with that snare.
Whew.
Those
Throw a
Pliny
1-2 finish, huh?
covers.
But yeah,
Damn.
you'll be able to play like Dave Elich in the good days and play for Morris Volta.
Heck yeah. Well, dang, y'all. I love this. This is like extra nerdy right here for all the drum nerds out there that are listening to the mics. Wesley obviously here is blowing up the chat. Motherfuckers want to mic the snare drum and put a mic on everything but the actual snare.
Really? We can comments right now.
Yeah. You know, for what it's worth, I've been running this plugin by Waves that actually emulates the bottom snare with the wires, and so I've been getting away from miking the bottom of the snare. I used to double mic at the top snare, which I thought was interesting. Just to blend the two.
Like a 57 and a
And a-
condenser or something
anything,
like that.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
I just had two dynamic mics on it. Nothing fancy, but but
You were 3D printing like the double clip, right?
yeah, but I didn't own any pencil condensers.
Oh.
Effa hit me up and wanted me to do that, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is a good idea.
Yeah, that was rad.
Did I send you
Because I
one?
know those go for kind of. No,
Oh, okay.
but they. I know they're kind of expensive too.
Dang. Yeah, I should print more of those.
You have
what,
one?
what was interesting was that on me, yeah. What are those things? You know I have these things on me.
It's a double clip, like a double mic clip. That's what it was.
Okay, yeah, so they're right here. So
Dig in the box.
Oh.
Yeah.
so 57 goes right here. pencil microphone goes right here, and yeah, it just holds on by the 57. Oh, check it out! I got a 57 here too.
He is not capping.
No cap at all, dude.
You stop the cap, man.
So
Jesus Christ.
57,
Jesus Christ, dude.
and then your pencil condenser, and then you just put your 57 in the mic stand, and it's ready to go.
Yeah,
Mike.
can you
Damn.
slide your
Mike.
finger in the other one slowly,
Shut
just
up,
back and
Jack.
forth?
No.
Just want to make sure it can fit a condenser.
Yo, I forgot I had this though, y'all. Let me tell you, the universal dust cleaner. You ever get on this, dude? Talk about ASMR real quick. You know,
For
get some,
huffing?
get some.
Oh, dude.
Throw it on your keyboard and it gets all the dust off.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good.
It's all in one
It's a good investment, y'all.
flubber, dude.
Yeah, it's a flubber in a box.
Wash it, and then put it back in.
What?
Do you wash it and then put it back in the thing?
No, no.
Just let it-
I've only used it once, so it's still clean.
Okay. It's not clean. I'm
It's
just
still
kidding.
clean. It's still clean.
It's
Well,
clean.
well, dang. I think it's a smoke that dust cleaner. What? You're ridiculous. So yeah, everybody and the stream, thank you for tuning in so far. This has been Mike Talk with Jack Perry and Brandon Medellin. And we'd like to continue this chat with maybe getting a little more info about our guest, Jack Perry. Jack, what brought you to the drum set? Are you originally well? Yeah. Tell us your story, man. Where'd you grow up? And everything. Let me know.
Yeah. So I'm like the only person in LA born in LA. Didn't move here from somewhere else. I think.
Love it. OG.
Yeah, I have like kind of a musical family. On like my dad's side, everyone played guitar, and that was like what you did at every party. There would always be like a jam, and no one played drums, so it was kind of like, yo, why don't you learn some drums? So there was that kind of influence. Then on my mom's side, my great grandpa, who I was close with, he was a drummer and piano player. He used to play in like big bands and stuff. So I'd always just sit next to him while he played piano, and that was the shit, you know.
Cool.
So kind of both sides, I had a lot of musical influence, but I always wanted to play the drums. Like my parents tell me that even when I was like 2, I was like finding ways to make drums.
Mm-hmm.
I would take toys and like buckets and stuff, and I would just put it all together and make something and play on it just because I like doing it. I don't know. And then I think I was about 8 or 9 when I was, like I told my dad, I was like, I'm kind of serious about this. Like, I want to take up the drums. He's like, okay, yeah. So I'll get you like lessons for 6 months. And even if you suck, you need to take lessons for 6 months, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like not allowing me to quit if I wanted to. And I did, and I didn't even think about quitting. I was just like so into it. This was like finally, I get to learn drums.
Sick.
Didn't have a drum set still. I was just making stuff out of like paint cans and this tambourine toy I had, and just like any kinds of metal I could get, you know.
Totally.
And then I think when I was in 6th grade, I could join a pad class for part of like the school band. It was like an intro to drums.
Oh, that's
And so
cool.
I was just like, it was all hands for like the first year or something.
Whoa.
And yeah, and then I just got started with band and made a lot of friends in marching band, joined the jazz band. I was always playing drum set, in private lessons and stuff, and then doing all the hand stuff in band. So I got really into like drumline and stuff like that. And then in high school, I kind of made a transition halfway through that I was just going to focus on jazz band. Marching band was getting a little like, I don't know, I just saw like no direction from that. I really love, like, I still watch some DCI stuff and and all
Sure.
that, but it just seemed like there was no forward momentum except, you're gonna like teach a high school line or something and make like no money.
Right.
Um,
Hmm.
but I was a huge fan of Zeppelin and the Beatles and all kinds of music that I wanted to play that I knew I wasn't gonna play in marching band and stuff. So yeah, and then I just kind of like kept developing and ended up going to UC Irvine for uh, jazz drum set studies. Studied with Jason Harnell. He's a great teacher. Um,
Man, I love that drummer. Jason is so sick.
he's awesome. Yeah,
He did this like play 3/4 challenge the other week, like a
that
couple of weeks ago.
that was
Just
our lessons, dude. It was all
it just
that
tore
kind
my
of
head
shit.
up for a sec. Like I loved it, and yeah, he came and did a he did a clinic at CalArts, and
Yeah,
I think it's so crazy. I thought it was the most insane like solo drummer like everyone has like that's a solo drummer and has like a solo project as a drummer. I feel like it's just like rite of passage to like you have to like make your own thing, and he truly has it like with his puppets and his singing and his transcriptions. Um,
mm-hmm.
but like you go back like and just listen to him play like that guy like has hands. He knows what he's doing. Like his touch
Yeah,
is impeccable. And I wish like I would have known about Jason Harnell sooner, but you got to spend four years with him.
yeah.
Wow.
The thing about Jason is he's got a great sense of humor, which he can apply to his wide knowledge of the drums.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like there's something about like artists with intention, like intentionally doing something which like kind of brings the level of art to a higher standard, and and then involving humor in a way to like where he just gets it.
Yeah,
It's
I
it's
agree
dope.
wholeheartedly.
Uh, so a lot of the stuff that we did in our lessons was like getting that knowledge of like knowing everything around, odd meter or something like that, and then
Mm-hmm.
choosing what you're gonna do with that. Because like Jason in the '90s, and he told me this himself. He was like a Dave Weckl head. He loved Dave Weckl and that style of fusion playing. And you'll see him back in like when he used to play with Maynard Ferguson. He had his Yamaha stage custom with 6 toms and
Oh yeah.
3 splash cymbals in the center. you know,
Mm-hmm.
and he sounds like one of those '90s fusion guys. You listen to him now, and he doesn't play like that anymore.
Yeah.
It's mostly acoustic, and it's just that kind of like having that knowledge, but having like being intentional with how he plays now. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
I want to do this. I want to use that knowledge for something different. I think that's cool.
That's really awesome to hear. Like he just he kind of came up in a different sorry in a different realm. But like yeah, he's definitely one of those people that has checked his checks and balances with his playing, and he's been able to I mean anyone navigating the 90s and the splash cymbal revolution was like and is still standing is like very I don't know. It's inspiring to me. It's just I'm. What did he have to say about where the music industry is going? I'd be curious to know if you guys talked about that.
I
Obviously, this is
I
all
don't know if I really.
pre-pandemic stuff. Or have you talked to him lately?
Uh, Sometimes I shoot him a message on Instagram or like comment on his stuff like cool, and he's like, "Yo." That's all we say nowadays, really.
Okay.
I went like before the pandemic. I went and saw his solo drum stream at, or not stream, used to saying everything's a stream now.
Shout out Drum
His
Stream.
solo, yeah, his drum solo show at an oyster bar in North Hollywood. It's a really weird place.
Tight.
Yeah, and I think I took my grandma, oddly enough. And it was just like a funny hang.
I mean, that's what it's about. Like, it's art too, you know, like, cause I mean, man, who's like waking up today and is like, I'm gonna go see a solo drum show. Let's go. It's like, you have to have more than just like hot licks to play the solo drum show. Like, and he has his own gimmicks and his own fun. Like you said earlier, like his sense of humor just completely like is just, what's the word I'm looking for, is oozing from his playing and his concepts. I love it.
Yeah, and with such confidence as well. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't get it, doesn't really matter because he's doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you could go with it or you could just not, but he's doing it, and it's gonna be cool.
Absolutely. No holds bar. I could see Jason like playing a drum solo. Well, maybe I guess Zach Danziger already did this with to like a wrestling match, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Did you were you at that drum show with Nate Wood, Zach Danziger and Lewis Cole?
Yeah.
During
Was that
NAMM?
like the Nam show one? Yeah.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
thing. But I feel like Jason would do it differently, but I would love to
That's
I
the
would
kind
love
of
to see
stuff
that.
he.
I would love to
Yeah,
see
he
that.
did that for his solo show. He had like just like out references to things. Um, just like weird transcripts of people talking, and he would play to it in his like quirky Jason Harnell way.
Yeah. I love it.
And then he had something that he drew, like a random assortment of pictures that he made into a score.
Right.
And he this keep in mind, this is at an oyster bar where there's this like weird owner passing around a bucket to pay Jason. He's like, "Put some money in here," and he would walk up to every table. The owner was
Dang,
weird.
no shame.
Anyways, Jason passed out pages, like physical copies, to everyone there, and then he sat down and played the solo, and everyone read the music. It's just
That's
like,
skillin'.
who would, like who does that right now?
I mean, you have to
right?
get your
Like
audience
that doesn't
involved.
get views.
Yeah. I got the distinct pleasure to study with another musician named Joey Sellers, who is a trombone player, and I was, I'm a trombone player as well. I got my degree in the trombone, which is weird to say. On the
Really,
drums- on the
dude, I didn't know
drumstick.
that.
Yeah, my undergrad's in jazz trombone. No cap.
That's sick.
But it's anyway, he had a duo with this other trombone player named Ryan Dragon, and so Joey Sellers and Ryan Dragon, and they went by Dragon Sellers as their trombone duo. And they had I went and I saw them in an art gallery in downtown Long Beach once, and they had taped notes underneath every chair. And at one point in the show, asked everyone to look under their chair and have the note. And some of the notes say like, wait 30 seconds and throw this piece of paper at the trombone players, or like recite this first, the first line of the Pledge Allegiance out loud, or like, I don't know. It was like so out and so funny that like you couldn't
That's
help but be a
rad.
part of the fun, like, because at the end of the day, like, yeah, you're going to see like two trombone players like play duo, like, they're not playing standards. It's like,
Yeah.
that's super fun. But yeah, I love that concept of being a musician, and a solo musician at that, and like being or grabbing the attention of the audience through means that's not just your playing, but to get them involved. That's showbiz, man. Like if the
Yeah.
audience isn't with
It
you, like they're well, they're not gonna put money in that hat for sure if they're not with you.
yeah, it's kind of like an acknowledgement of like this is a little weird and maybe a little bit difficult
Yeah,
for your average audience member to stomach. And then how can a creative person be creative and let them in
right.
on this?
Totally. Well, big ups to the oyster guy as well.
The oyster guy, dude. I watched him pick up the phone from, it's just like sitting at the bar. It's a very old phone. I watched him pick it up while there's a bunch of customers in there. He goes, "Hello? I can't hear anything you're saying." "Okay, bye." Just slam the phone.
I
Like he's
love
that
it.
guy.
I love it.
Doesn't give a fuck. This is my oyster bar.
Do you remember what the oyster bar was called?
God, I don't. Oyster Bar in North Hollywood might take you there.
Okay.
I don't really know how many oyster bars there are in North Hollywood.
Dang. I think we should set up a post pandemic show at the oyster bar in North Hollywood.
I'm looking it up right now.
I'd
I'm
love
gonna
to
start
know.
getting targeted ads for oyster.
I hope so. Do you like oysters?
I'm not like the oyster guy, but I'll eat them.
The only time I had an oyster was I was playing. This is like right when pot became legal in California, and I was playing a like an indoor gig. Remember those? Playing a gig for this like it was like the Nam of pot, but it was all in just like one bar. So it must have been like San Diego pot Nam, if you will. And anyway, they had these people walking around with trays of oysters, and I'm like, I never tried oysters before. I'm like, oh, you should try these oysters. I'm like, oh, well, what's so special about them? He's like, there's THC oil on these oysters. I'm like, whoa. So I had like 5 or 6 of those oysters, and after the gig, obviously, you guys, I want to be the oyster guy.
See,
Wes, you can be the oyster guy, bro.
the thing
Anytime.
about getting, the thing about getting too high before you play is like if I get too high, if I know did too much and I'm about to play and I just get on stage, it usually works out because you're like, if you're playing if you're playing like music at an intense level, you'll kind of get the juice out, you're kind of like let it just, you're kind of wielding it at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But like, man, like if I get too high and I like have to wait like an hour or like 30 minutes before my set, I'm like, fuck. I have to
Bro.
contemplate my fucking life and shit before I play. I'm like, damn,
Yeah, I guess
who
if
am
you
I
if you
right now?
know you're too high, it's a little okay than like not understanding that you're too high. That's probably worse when you're just low key panicking.
Yeah, the
Why
panic
is
is
everyone
funny.
staring at me?
What the heck? Where are my
But like,
shoes?
They're on stage. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't have shoes on.
What? Yeah, yeah. I guess we've all been there before. But
Okay, so I have this weird thing with weed and drumming. First of all, like if there's a creative gig, smoking weed and then drumming tends to be a good thing for me,
yeah.
I think. I feel like I have good performances. And maybe that's my own perception and I'm just like, like
Nah. I mean, I think
but
you're right. I agree.
but
Pop.
then also like if I'm playing like a pop gig where I need to remember shit, I wouldn't do that.
yeah, if
You
it's
know,
something
because
that
you're
you're
not trying
used
to be
to, you can,
creative
it's a little easier.
necessarily.
Yeah.
But when I'm trying to get a good take on a recording, and I'm just like not, it's just not killing yet. I'm like, okay, well, if it's not gonna happen now, we'll just take a huge bong rip and then we'll try this again. And my best takes have been like high, and it's even like on my Ableton DAW, where I have my takes. I'm like take one, take two, take three, take high two.
Ah,
Just so I remember like which ones, or which, and I'm like the high take is good because it just like brings you into this new zone.
I mean,
I'm
yeah.
trying to.
Even talking
I'm
about
trying.
take one versus take two versus take three, like take one's always really good, but take two,
Mm-hmm.
you think you're trying to play what was good from take one, and then take three, you're thinking too much about
Yeah,
what
the
was
sauce is
bad,
gone.
So take four if you're gonna rip it, dude. You might as well. It's like wiping the slate clean almost.
I'm the type of guy that likes to get high before and then sniff essential oil. That's the essential oil I've been telling you about.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
That shit makes you so mindful that like you'll probably get it. Like I don't know, you'll get it quick. You'll get it quicker. You'll be more focused. I've been using essential oil every time I record now, and I don't know, just like magic is happening. Like it's like the better I feel, the more in time I am, or something.
Hmm.
And
With
it's like,
essential, oh man. See, when my mom's been trying to get me to try her essential oils or whatever,
is it DoTerra?
I mean, she's like, it's good. It's like a calming scent, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. But if she told me, hey, it's gonna make your takes like killing, then I might be like,
It's like
bring that salt lamp over here.
imagine feeling like your cogs turning right at a level where most people would get anxiety, right? But like the essential oils, what they do is they make the cogs turn that fast with no anxiety. Like you're like it's like it'll extend your creative output to a forefront. It's That's what it's been doing for me. It's like
All right, this is the
I'm in
best
the
case for essential oils I've heard
yeah, like drumming an
so far.
essential, like I rub lavender over me and inhale it, and like and then I play shows. Like I'll do that. Like I had this one that was really intense. It was called On Guard, and I would do that like when like pre pandemic, like when I'd go to a different city play. There's a bunch of people, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of like on some shit right now. I use that one and I snap out of it. I'm like, it's time to play. It's cool, man. It'll suck me out of bullshit. Like it'll just like your mission is drums right now. That's it.
Mm.
And everything that has to do with like that piece of the puzzle, which is like the main piece of the puzzle, right? For you and me, like drums, right? Everything revolves around drums or like music. Like it'll literally cancel out thoughts that have nothing to do with that mission.
This is deep, you guys. I'm in. You know, I'm I'm like, I'm over here like trying to stomach everything y'all are saying. I love it. I quit smoking weed this year, so I'm like slightly jonesing for a toke right now,
Oh wow.
but it is I can totally as a 10-year stoner 100% understand where y'all are coming from.
You
A
should get the
seasoned
essential
weed
oil I'm
practice.
talking
Yo,
about.
I'm
'Cause
on that essential oil drip though. I got a diffuser. I have some right next to my bed. Bro, I'm on it. You're on DoTerra, is that it?
doTERRA, you can ingest it. This is the purest essential oil in the world. Like I'm not like that's not even a cap. Like this company is changing the fucking world, man. It's crazy. Like they have healing properties for your muscles, for your mind. They have a lot of crazy, uh, really high potent oils that can be ingested. They're safe. They're
Yeah.
therapeutic grade, and like I'll dip lemon and peppermint in my water, and like at a gig, I'll like drink it while during break, like in a flask instead of having a water bottle or water bottles. And like that feeling, that openness, how peppermint opens you up will go down like my whole body and just open me up. And like, therefore I just like extend into the kit.
Hmm.
And like, it just really blocks out like things that don't need to be there. And not in a way where you can't see them and you're like, you're a horse, right? That's like jaded, right, with the blocks, right? But in a way where you see things, but you can just let them go because you know exactly why you're in the moment
Yeah.
doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Caleb says I think Caleb didn't know you could ingest essential oils. Can you maybe speak a
Not
little?
all of
Not all of them. Okay.
mo- most at the stores. And here's
Everyone's
the
starting
thing.
to smoke shit in the chat.
Yeah.
Do you ever roll up like a little lavender in your spliffs or anything?
I could. I need to try it,
Or
but
like, do you ever like douse your weed with your essential oil? Maybe that's not a thing.
That
no,
doesn't
no,
That's
no,
sound too
probably a
bad.
bad thing.
no.
Yeah.
All I have to do is like put 3 drops on my hand, rub it in my hands, inhale it, rub it in my beard,
Yeah.
and then oh man, and then if I have an essential oil water and I drink that too, dude, I'm telling you, like your senses are just going fucking crazy. You're just like in the moment. You feel so many senses that like you don't think. You're just like I'm here. I'm fucking doing
I'm
it
in
right now.
lavender land.
Let's go. I got a lavender kit. That's why I got a lavender kit because of that essential oil, man. I'm not even joking right now.
Dang. Yeah, Jack, you should when you have time, you should peep Brandon's new CNC, dude. It's a pretty special kit. It's a what is that? It's like 18 by 12 or 12 by 18 kick, right?
It, yeah, 18 by 12,
Woo.
12 by 8 rack tom, 14 by 13 floor tom.
It's a
I
sick
It's
have
like a
my
snare.
little kit.
W on it, but I have the abalone snare.
That's the prime jewel. Like the to me of that kit though is the snare. Like the kit is obviously fire, but like to me that snare is just like ooh, it's just like it's the talking point for me. You know.
The snare is wild. I've never had a snare like that. I've never in the single flange hoops, man. I don't know. Uh, Triple flange hoops. The thing is that they resonate in a way where it's like the overtone. It's nice, but sometimes it's a bit much. The single flange like tapers down the resonance a good bit, so you don't need as much muffling in the snare. It's kind of you get the natural overtone, but it's like not overdone. And like I don't know, I got maple, no, I got mahogany, poplar mahogany, dude. That's a crazy joint, man. It sounds almost like a metal snare, but it's wood. It's like
Mm.
because like it's like super deep but like bright at the same time. You got the poplar that's bright. It's like kind of a darker, richer birch, but it's like darker and richer than the birch, but still higher than like mahogany.
Mm.
Like mahogany, poplar, mahogany. You can make it fat or you could crank that shit, man. I recorded it and man, I don't know, dude. That CNC is crazy.
All their kits are so well done and pretty.
I
That's all
I
I can
just got
say
in
every time
I
I
just
see them.
I just got endorsed, man, and like I'll tell you the truth, like a lot of the drummers are like really big indie drummers because they backline like ACL, whatever, right? Not drummers that got like really big gigs, but they're not like modern drummer. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to be kind of like the bridge between those two worlds for CNC. Like why don't like I mean I don't know like I would like to see like really established like flashy drummers on this brand, and I'm just trying to be someone who plays more, basically someone who plays more creative gigs on the CNC but gets notified for it, like on some jazz forefront shit,
Mm.
like not like just oh these are nice pop rock because I'm trying to get fusion sizes in this company, like because the next kit I'm gonna order is gonna be like a 20 by 14, 12 by 8, 13 by 9, and then a 16 by 15, and like no one has that size config. Like that's like
Do they
fusion.
typically only make smaller drums like that?
Yeah, they typically make. Well, no, they typically make beefier drums than what I got. The 12 by 18, like 12 and 8, and then 14, 13. That's kind of like a true bop, like a Ludwig Jazzette size config. They don't really do. They do it, but like their main thing is like like 24 by 14, 16 by 16, 13 by
Yeah.
9, like like beefy, like a lot of the artists are kind of like country artists or like indie fat, like people who want that like fat Ludwig, like tapey, not Bonamy necessarily, but like like indie fat drums, right? Like
Yeah, like the warm
yeah, the
tones and
warm fat like
yeah.
tape drums, right? I'm trying to like do like the whole fusion twist on that, like where I record in that style and use these kind of drums, but I'm not like just laying it down. I'm like doing like abstract, like stuff like odd meter fusion, psychedelic shit. You know what I'm saying? And
Nice.
like I because I love Billy Cobham. You know what I'm saying? Because he has like that sound, that tapey sound. But Billy Cobham like paints so much on the drums in a way that's like, he talks. He's expressive, not just laying the backbeat down. This company needs to see that more.
Mm-hmm.
You see him a lot on like Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
You know, the guy playing behind there. He's
Mhm.
got really deep, low sounding drums. He's playing, and then like mallets for the second song. Those,
Damn. Well, hey, Jack, I'd be curious to know too, like what I mean, as a drummer, you probably owned a bunch of kits, and like what's been your favorite kit that you've owned over the course of your, or maybe I always ask what's your favorite kit and what's one you regret selling or letting go.
um, well, I still have like the main kit, the best kit I've ever owned. The one that I got right here, actually. It's they don't make them anymore. It's a Gretsch New Classic Bop kit.
Uh huh.
You got like an 18-inch kick, and then two toms, 14-inch and 12-inch. And it's like a bop
What
kit.
the fuck? Man,
Are you okay?
my dog's like, yeah, go on.
Oh, the
We're okay.
beak. All right. So that kit, I still use like the toms for pretty much everything. I just feel like they sound so good. They have so much range. I could tune them up or down, and then it's awesome.
What kit do you
Um,
have again? What kind of Gretsch is it?
Gretsch New Classic.
What price range is that?
Um, I mean it's up in the air now because they don't make them,
Oh,
but
okay.
I think the shells go for like 2,000, I think, or like
That's
1,800 or something like that.
yeah, they were nice. I like the lugs that you have on them.
The lugs are so killer, and
Yeah.
they don't do that anymore. Gretsch was like, "Nah, we're going back to regular," but they're so dope. They don't look like a Gretsch, which is kind of neat.
It's kind of similar
Yeah,
to
And
the
they
then
have
I
USA
know like,
Custom, right?
say it again.
Isn't it? It's pretty similar to the USA Custom, right?
Yeah, I think the difference was that this wasn't made in USA. It was made in like Indonesia.
Got it. Got it.
So like made irresponsibly in sweatshops, and I just think the drums sound really great because of that. No, I'm just kidding, but uh,
it
That's pretty
it's
harsh, Jack.
was
no,
dry.
I
I
mean,
loved it.
I
I
think we
think
just
it's
lost like
almost the
25
same.
viewers right there, bro.
Uh, yeah, so it's like it's supposed to sound like a round badge. I think is what they're going for.
Gotcha.
For whatever reason, they discontinued it. I know that they gave this kit out to like all their major endorsers. Like Vinny had one, Mark Juliana had one, Brian Blade I saw had one,
Mm.
and yeah, it's cool. So I love that one as like a full kit, and then I I bought. I still have this one in college. I think I just used it on a drum cover video. It's 70s Vistalite Ludwig,
Mm.
um, 24-inch, and
Big
it
boy.
just sounds amazing. One mic. You don't need to put two mics on the kick. It's just so beefy.
Yeah. Dang. What do you use? What do you use on that kick? Like headwise, what are you rocking?
I just put the front head, like the stock front head, back on. It has like the OG Ludwig
Uh huh.
logo. Love it. And the front, I just have a Remo Power Stroke 3. The stock head that came with it has like a silver drum dot.
Okay.
that's like weird. And I
Cool.
tried playing on it, and I'm just like, this sucks. It just sounded like not good. I
Put a
don't know.
pillow inside it.
Yeah, I have a like one towel.
Sick. Dang, that's cool. I think that, yeah, the
Yeah,
24s sound good, like with like just little muffling. Like this is gonna be a big old like timpani if you don't have a little bit in there. But
yeah. It it was like intense when I first got it, and they just sent it to me like with those stock heads on it, nothing inside it. I hit it, and I was just like, oh, I'm never gonna be able to play this live ever.
Yeah.
you know. And then it turned out to be really great once I put some stuff inside it and changed the heads. I actually used to when I had like a bigger touring gig. I used to take it everywhere, and I had like an '80s style like Remo uh, ebony ambassador, I think, but it had like a hole cut out directly in the center, like a
ooh,
big one.
that
Didn't
80s
make the
swag.
kit sound. It didn't make it sound great by itself, but it was just easier to put a mic on it.
You mean like the big center hole? Like,
Big center hole.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. I always thought those were. I mean, I feel like that's just a big. It's a big place to put the logo sticker. Then like as far as the front head goes, like the front head isn't doing anything. It's just for the logo to go.
Yeah. And it makes it easier to put stuff in and take stuff out if you
That's
have
right.
to.
Okay, didn't think about that. Did you ever get into the kick ports?
No.
Uh,
Tell me about those.
I have a kick
What's
port
the deal?
on uh, on the on the pork pie that I record with at my studio. I got a kick port because my friend had mentioned like one night he was playing and he got a kick port and put it on, and he was on tour with a sound guy, and the sound guy's like, yo, what did you do different to your head? And he's like, yo, I put this kick port on. Essentially it's like two pieces. So you stick the front in, and it has this like little back suction cup thing, so it puts it all together, so it's like this big weight in your hole for the it's like this I don't know, it's supposed to be like a little
It
lower,
gives them the
gives it some oomph. Yeah, that's a good way to
Mm.
put it.
I
uh,
really like I like this really ironic. It's almost a fucking joke, man, but I like to do it. I'm gonna get a kick port on my 18 by 12. I
get it.
think I think I think the amount of punchiness and subbiness out of that shell is so quick, and it'll be boosted.
Mm-hmm.
It'll just be like a punch, like a really like it won't be. I like doing that. Like the kick port on small bass drums is crazy. It's like a little cannon. Like you could paint over everything, but it's not like overbearing to the point. Like it's a cool jazz, like punchy bass drum to like
Totally.
technique thing. I don't know. I like it a lot.
Totally. Man, I'm still, as far as like the 18 bass drum goes, like I have two, and I have that similar size to Brands. I have a 18 by 12 Rogers, but it doesn't have a front head on it, or it doesn't have a what am I saying? It has a normal head, no hole, but I have the Catalina Elite. You guys, the Catalina Elite. That's that old school
You didn't
Catalina
tell me you were elite.
with the it has the lugs, the long lugs, has the middle. I don't know which. It's the same thing that you have on your CNC, Brandon. The tuning lugs, how they're strapped to the
Oh
middle. What are those called?
yeah. Those are called. They call them. What do they call them? Broadcaster lugs. I forgot what they're
Yeah, they
called.
have the Elite has the broadcaster lugs. Then, if anyone's out there watching and that could tell me what those lugs are called, if they're called broadcasters,
I could
um,
be wrong. Timbo sees it, and
extra points for you.
he's gonna
But
roast me.
I call them the long lugs.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have the 16 by 18 kick on that, which I'm assuming is that the same size for your Gretsch, Jack?
18 by 16?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
cool. That's like the typical 18 Catalina size, I guess. Um, but yeah, man, I just throw an EMAT on that thing, tune down, tune it down a little bit, and keep it open. And it's good to go. But I just kick port plus a pillow in the 22 by 20. It's killing.
Yeah.
So
I think I just really like doing the kick in and kick out, and that's why I have a port.
mm-hmm.
You know, also for like, oh yeah, also for like regular gigs, it's just so much more manageable.
Totally.
You don't want to have to worry about being like too loud, and that's the worst for an audience member, to deal with a loud drummer when you don't want that.
I feel that.
I don't want to be that guy that ruins your night out because you're like, man, I kind of wish we went like somewhere else.
Well, let's just talk about those people for a sec because obviously those are always the people that sit right next to you. You know, like the people
Yeah.
that like obviously have the ability to move, but they're like, no, I want to sit here, and I don't know. Sometimes you set up at the restaurant gig and like, you're setting up next to the people and you kind of feel a little bad. You're like, yeah, you're gonna be right next to the drummer. I always tell them you got a front row seat to the drum set,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, those it's like people that don't want to sit in the emergency exit. Like you can ask to be moved and you can move. You know, I don't know drums. You got to hit the drums. Look at this dog. He's so cute, you guys.
Little
That's
baby.
why I like. I've been liking the small drums with the ports, man.
Mm.
It's like the perfect balance. You still get a punch, but and you feel it, but it's like it's not like oh man, fuck, let me go out. No, people who are like gonna want to go outside will stay.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. I don't know. I saw I saw it live one time. I seen funny stuff like 16s with ports.
I got one.
You got a 16 bass drum with a port in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like utter dog shit, at least for me. But
Put a
Dude,
put a, put, put a,
it was
a
just to
kick
mic it, you know.
put a kick port and like three like a pillow. That would be funny. It would sound crazy.
just take the front head off. Big port.
Yeah, it might
Big
as
port.
well. Yeah, it might as well be. The rest of that drum set, it's one of those Yamaha Manukachi Junior kits.
Hmm.
Um, the rest of that kit unfortunately got stolen,
Oh man.
but I guess they got like spooked by something because they left the kick drum. They took the snare and the two toms, and this is like a very unique size kit. So I don't even know like how they could have sold that to a pawn shop, but they took all my hardware, toms, the snare, and left that kick. And they might have just been like, "Oh, this is a 16. It's got a porthole in it. Like, fuck this.
I don't need this floor, Tom.
Yeah, this thing's useless."
Dang.
uh,
Well, um, this
Hilarious.
has been great. Let's Jack, I'd love to also like comment on some of the bands that you're in. You say you grew up in LA, which is like you said, very rare. What did you have any bands coming up in LA? We'll get to the ones you're in now, but I always ask what was some of the first bands you played in?
well, dude, I had this band with some some friends of mine. I forgot how we met exactly. The saxophone player went to UCI. That's how I met him. The other guy, I think we just played some gigs together, and we just found out we were interested in the same stuff. Playing like kind of dumb, corporate parties, and then we talk. But I was like, I still am like a huge Knee Body and Nate Wood
Uh huh.
guy. And at the time, I'm talking like this is like 2012 or something. I'm like super into that scene and like the Blue Whale
Yeah.
kind of Lewis Cole, Mark Giuliano, Tim LaFave, you know.
Jack
So
Conte.
I had like I had like a band like that. Um, and we used to just, we we used to drink and smoke a lot and do a bunch of other stuff. So it was like, you know, get high and do some sub bass stuff. we had we had some cool gigs too, and it was just like it was awesome. It was just a way to improvise and do that kind of crazy stuff. A lot of
Cool.
development
So
for sure.
was it like, I don't want to call it for lesser words, was it a jam band or did you guys have like original songs? And what was the name of the band?
Yeah, we had a. It was called Thrill House,
Sick.
like
Sick.
you know, like
Sick
that
band.
Simpsons episode where Millhouse picks up that video game. He's like Thrill House.
Thrill House.
Yeah, that's it. Um, so there's a video of us playing at the Del Monte Speakeasy.
Oh dang.
We're doing like a Nine Inch Nails cover with a vocoder.
That's dope.
It was cool. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So we would rehearse and we get some gigs. We even did like some recording too. It was just one of those things where you learn to play with people and respond to what they're doing, learn everyone's kind of characteristics, and
Totally.
just be creative. We're not making any money. We knew that, and that's
I feel that.
that's the beauty of those projects. In a
Passion
way.
project for sure.
Those are the best. Those are the
Yeah.
best. You just get faded, go make some gas, take
Yeah,
risks.
we used to rehearse at my friend Nick Maldonado, who is the sax player. Actually, you
Oh,
know him,
Nick.
Matt.
Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we used to rehearse at his parents' ranch in Whittier, and we we would go to this back house where there'd be like chickens everywhere. There was a horse, multiple horses that would sometimes just go fucking ballistic during the night and start kicking like their shit down and would go crazy. And there would be like a wild horse outside that his dad needs to come out and like calm down. It was a wild scene. And then we'd be playing a bunch of like bwop bwop nerve shit,
Yeah. Dang.
It was
Getting
it was a
your
fun
push
time.
pull on.
Oh yeah.
Very tight. Well, okay, cool. So what about currently? Like, I have your website pulled up here for everyone that's here. If you want to check out jackperry.net, you can find a lot of Jack's projects under his videos tab. I have it so pulled up here. This is, Jack and I, before I pulled this one up, Jack and I met at the San Fernando Jam session, which is back on now. Which is the sickest
Yeah.
news. I didn't go on Sunday, but I will be there soon, I hope.
Same. Yeah.
And so I guess going
Great
forward
hang.
there, yeah, the hang was good, and that was definitely back in the. I remember Jack and I. It's hilariously enough, we were bonding with. It was me, Jack, and Joey, and it would all just go out when everyone was playing and just toke a little trees,
Yeah.
There was
A little.
and then you come back in and everyone looks at you, and we relished in that feeling of where were you guys,
Oh yeah.
That's a fun
That was
time.
us.
But so I feel like, and I also met the bassist of this band here too, RJ, at the same jam session. And this
Met
is,
a lot of good friends there.
yeah, and so this is, I would say, I mean, Jack, you can probably tell me this too, but this is certainly like at least 2/3 of this band could have been sparked by playing
It was
every
totally
week there.
sparked by the San Fernando.
So this is
Like we
Yeah.
We all met there.
So yeah, did you play with Jake and you guys all just like bonded after, like you, RJ, and Jake, and it was like, cause you and RJ would always get called up together a lot. Like that was like, I think like
Yeah, that was the
Zephyr
thing.
and Dean was like, yeah, like those two play well together. I mean, if you've ever had to run a jam session, you always want to like make sure the music is good and put people in there that you know will blend. If you're a good jam session leader, some people don't take that into account, and then it's just cacophony. But
Yeah.
I feel like the San Fernando does
Well,
that.
so I
does
had
that well.
heard about Jake early on because I went to it was a USC like house party or
Uh-huh.
something, and I heard a couple people were gonna be there who were really killing. And then Jake opened, and he was just by himself playing all this video game music,
Right.
and insane coordination, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, this guy's rad, but I never talked to him, you know. He wasn't really like maybe I'll say he wasn't really like approachable, you know.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't really know him. Then I went to go see him at the Blue Whale later, and kind of got a chance to talk to him. He was talking to a lot of people, and I was like, hey man, I really love your stuff. And he's like, yo, thanks. Yeah, we'll talk later. And then we never talked later.
That's a good Jake
and
right
then
there.
yeah, and then I had met RJ at the San Fernando, and we had just kind of like we'd go over to each other's houses and kind of jam, and we were cool. And then I think Zephyr just put us all together on stage once,
Yeah.
and that was it. And then we just like talked like, yo, I think Jake was like, yo, we need to play together, like
That's awesome.
now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had just moved here, and I don't think he even remembered me when I was like, hey, you're cool
Yeah.
at the Blue Whale.
Well, too, like, I mean, I think, you know, I've heard almost a very similar story from Ruben too, Ruben Gingrich, who was kind of went up to him as like, yo, man, and you know, no offense to Jake, because he uses a lot of like the video game drums in his tunes because that's kind of his thing, you know, but he's like, yo, man, everything else is cool, but your drums are whack. Like, you need a real drummer, you know. And I thought that was such a funny story. And so I mean, I thought the same thing, bro. I think every drummer in LA when they saw Jake was like, yo, like he needs a drummer. Like,
Yeah.
quick.
I think all the drummers look at him like, yo, that's some crazy coordination.
Sure. Yeah, on some coordination shit for
We're all
sure.
envious.
And his programming, you know, and Jake he's modest in that sense too. He's like, yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm just like, you know. But when you think about it, if you know Ableton a little more than a little bit, you know, like he's like programming his synths to change, and he has like his keyboard split to like certain things. And when you go see his, you know, the organ setup, the setting, like, yeah, he's playing everything. Like, I didn't think he was playing everything, but I saw him live in a living room in San Diego, and I saw him do it, and it was insane. Like, blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. So yeah, props to Jake. But this band, WWPG, is a combination of you three, RJ, Jake, and Jack, which for everyone out there, this is called We Want to Play Games. That's what WWPG means, which is killing. So I'd love to peep this a little bit, and let me know if you guys can hear this in the chat, because sometimes it doesn't happen. But here we go. Let me turn this up. I don't think you guys can hear it, huh? Let me make sure. I think I don't think anyone can hear it. That sucks. Damn it. Can you guys hear it? No? Damn.
I don't hear anything.
Damn, what the heck?
That video's gonna be gas.
The heck, internet. Let me try it this way. How about now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yo, who edits all the videos?
Me and RJ.
Yeah, Jack. Woo! This is a bomb track, bro. Yeah, you guys should
Yeah.
all go check out WWPG. It's just like, dude, it's kind of it's insane. Like, it's sick. I'm so envious. I love this band. It's so sick.
Oh, thanks, man.
Jack, have you played live with that group yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's dope.
a little bit. We the last gig we did was in January of last year.
Post COVID, man.
I saw
come
you
to
guys
Austin.
play in that backyard in LA once near USC, I think.
Oh yeah, that was our very first gig ever.
Yes. Yes.
We had
that was,
barely even begun. We had no direction.
was
I don't
still
even think we
tight.
had a name.
was still tight.
Thanks.
Okay, so that is WWPG. We have another one of your bands here. This one, I believe, was started before. It's called Leaf Leaf, with
Oh, yeah.
pianist
Danny Andres.
Danny Andres, and it's a duo, but more of a duo in songwriting rather than a duo, because there's lots of layers, lots of production going into it. Correct?
Yeah.
Cool. How did you guys start?
I met Danny. He was actually my TA in class at UCI.
Oh, okay.
He was in the master's program, and I think while I came in for office hours or something, we just started talking about shit that we liked, and that's how things start. We like the same stuff, so yeah, that's how we met. And then pretty much after that, I called him for gigs off and on, and then we, at some point, I don't even know when this started. I think as soon as I was able to start recording, which I think that was like 3 or 4 years ago or something, I was like, Danny, let's record something.
Heck yeah.
And that's how it started, pretty much. And then we had to come up with like a name and concept, and I don't know,
Wow. Cool.
and now we're here.
So now we're here. Check out Leaf Leaf real quick. This is the song entitled Sunbeam. Here it comes. really great stuff. Yeah. Who writes the songs?
Danny usually comes up with the start of it. Yeah, he had most of the material already, and then it was kind of like making it work for us, coming up with a unique drum part, and then sending it back to him, and then he's like, "Oh, now I want to make these changes." So it's really been all remote for the entirety of it.
And it was remote pre-pandemic, rather. Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
Cool.
it's always been something we send back to each other, and
I think that's a great like practice to, you know, if you're not working remote, like just start working remote with someone, you know, now. I mean, you know, case in point with you know, me, like Brandon and I, you know, we're clearly working remote.
Yeah,
You know, start something new, guys, like girls and people, do some fun stuff, you know. It's like, yeah, we all want to be in the same room together, obviously, but you know, it's all about like just keeping that creation bus driving. I want to talk to you about these effects hats, though. Do you like those?
they're cool. They're just two crashes I have.
What's on the bottom?
So I got the bottom is an let's see, Armand, sorry, thin crash, that I just got a while ago, 16-inch. Yeah, and I just put that on bottom. It's for some reason sounds good on the bottom as opposed to the top.
Yeah, typically, you know, like it's a thicker bottom than the top. It's usually gonna sound pretty
Yeah.
good. But I've seen. I remember the first person I saw. Well, I was probably not the first person, but someone I remember that's done that is 80/20 drummer Nate Smith. He put the 16 effects on the top, and I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. But you know, prior to that, I was no stranger to crash cymbals as hi-hats, or ride cymbals as hi-hats, for that matter.
Yeah.
We've all been there, you know.
I think in person it can be a little much because they're really like shrill and loud, but recording them, they just have this like nice buttery thick texture that I love. Can't really take it to all your gigs though. It's just, you know, you don't have another option. After a while you don't get to change hats for a third song or something, so
Right.
yeah, it can be a little much. For that, I'll stick with the 14, 15, you know, legit hats.
Mm-hmm. Man, I've been rocking the 15 Caropes for a while. Those things are killing.
Oh, those are probably beautiful.
I love them. That's the only. I have a 19 Carope. I had a 20 Carope that I sold. I had a whole set of Caropes for a sec, because I was like, I need to get some new cymbals. But yep,
I got 7 wrists.
the 15s and the 19. The 19's killing. The 20 sucked. Don't get the 20 Carope. Not a good
Wow.
buy.
I don't like the 20 Carope either. That's
Shots
funny.
fired.
Yeah, I'm still looking for that you know, anniversary ACOP though. I think you had one on your right there, right? On that last video?
Oh yeah, I
With
did.
the green? Wesley knows about the green ACOPs. That's what I'm talking about. I need me a
Yeah, the
22 of that, and
Signature series,
I'm out.
amazing.
Let's check out this one.
The-
I'll go for it, Jack.
It says, like, some of them say crash and some of them say ride on it, even though they're the same size. This one says ride, but I kind of use it as a crash more.
Dang, that's awesome. You know, as the jazzers say, like every cymbal is a ride cymbal.
Right.
At the end of the day. Okay, I want to check out. This is I'm gonna blind react to this solo in 11 now.
Oh,
we
God,
we
you gotta
shall
look at that
blind
one.
react to the solo in 11. Can't wait to hear it. Ooh. Remote hat. What up?
Oh, this is bad.
it's one of those, one taker, see what happens
Heck yeah.
kind of deal.
Look at this.
Like
What is this? What is this cityscape here? Who is this? Is this LA?
I don't wait.
The cityscape for your logo?
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
All right. Everybody, go follow the _real_Jack_Perry right now, and
that
have more videos like this.
that tune, I like the implied, like it's kind of like what 5 against 4, but in 11, and you switch the syncopation at the end.
Oh yeah, little halftime nonsense.
Yeah, I like when you do the accents, but you open up the symbols, like you're not doing as much symbols, so the listeners like forced to hear like the randomness from the. It's not random, but like that groove, you notice that outline groove from the syncopation. That shit is gas. I mean,
It's like an exercise I do with myself if I want to just come up with something. Is I'll just write a bunch of like dotted quarter notes, and double dotted quarter notes, and eighth notes and shit like that, and just come up with like 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, like come up with combinations like that and just see if I can keep track of all the hits and keep going. And I think even for that like Moog bass part, I just went in Ableton and just programmed the rhythm real quick. Like it took me 5 minutes, and it was just like do something.
That's the best. That's the easiest thing you can do. Just like make
Yeah.
an odd grouping of stuff and then rip over
And
it.
for clarification, I don't think that drum solo was epic.
That's okay.
I was
I
just
thought
kind
it
of
was
trying
great.
to be
Don't
ironic
say
and fit in the YouTube algorithm.
that. I think
Thanks.
I think it's the fact that you put it out shows more than anything.
Yeah, and even when I hit the mic on the toms on the way, I wanted everyone to hear that.
Yeah, that's passion, baby.
That's passion right
That's
there.
true passion.
Commitment to the game.
I like it a lot because it's like it's you're doing all of it, but like honestly, a lot of drum playthrough stuff. It's I don't know. I if I'm gonna watch a drum playthrough, like I want to see that. I don't want to see just people playing through tracks. Like I want to see like actual carved out like exercises and ideas that can like push your creating level, it pushes your creativity and just like overall gives you a bigger palette to work with. It's like an awareness. It's like I don't know. I like that. It's like like I've seen people do stuff kind of like that, but that specific video was it had its own essence, and that's like what it's dope.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. I gotta say, the stuff that gets the most views are drum covers.
Yeah.
You know?
They don't have to be good either. They don't have to be good. They just have to be popular for whatever reason.
I did one on Robot Rock when Daft Punk split up.
Mm-hmm.
And
I saw it.
It was just like, compared to my regular view count, just night and day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
gotta
peep
do
that
all
one real quick.
stuff.
Got that one up. Robot Rock. Daft Punk.
It's
Rest in
like
peace.
it's like a Bonham
They're gonna
take
get
on Daft Punk. And that's that big Ludwig.
Yeah.
La la
Hum,
la la
hum, 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 hum.
lo. La 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 lo. What does that sound?
That
La 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 la
one's a
la.
dope. It's like open and right. It's dope.
Heck yeah. Woo. So Jack, as we're rounding out the show here, what can you tell drummer? I mean, what can you tell drummers like that you're doing now? That I mean, like how are you keeping afloat? Like what's your secret?
Hmm.
What's something that you can bring someone into your world and let them know how you're getting by with as a
Hmm.
musician, as a person, human.
Yeah. Well, right now, definitely because of COVID and stuff, I can't even imagine going to music school right now.
Right.
I just feel like that would be such a waste of money. However, I right now have consistent money coming in because I have a degree and I teach for a school district every week. And
Where do
it's
you
not,
teach?
I teach for Claremont Unified School District. So I run like the bands from like all the beginner bands. And there's two orchestras, like an intermediate and advanced, and also a percussion class that I teach. And then I've been teaching horns uh this year and last year too. So I've learned like a lot of new skills from doing that. And the only reason I have this job that's keeping me mostly afloat is because I have a bachelor's degree and I got a teaching credential. So like
You have a teaching
having
credential. Woo! Man, I kick
yeah,
myself in the butt every time I did a performance degree instead of a teaching degree for my undergrad. Every
well,
day.
it's not as serious as it sounds. It's so I have a performance degree and then I took the CBEST, is I think what it's called, and that allows me to teach grades. I think like in elementary school, and that's what I'm teaching. It's like fourth through sixth grade. You know,
So wait, you don't have a teaching credential?
I do, but it's only for like younger grades. I'm pretty sure. So like I
Okay.
can also sub. I could sub classes.
Right.
Um, I don't really do that, but yeah, I didn't have to go through the whole teaching credential thing. I just had to take this test and have a bachelor's degree. So
Killer.
like having something like that and it's like all remote too, so I'm basically doing this kind of setup, um, multiple camera angles and miking things up. Those kinds of skills kind of take you a long way in terms of getting your career off the ground
Mm-hmm.
and being able to like a lot of the people that are in this kind of field of work don't put the time and effort into their own personal projects. Like I do. Like I would have this thing with Leaf Leaf or WWPG, regardless if I'm making money on it or not, because it's a way to showcase like what I can do and
Sure.
also develop skills, recording, video editing, and all that. So I think it's also important to like not forget what you're doing. You could work an office job in a cubicle and probably make a lot more money. So like don't put yourself in a cubicle when you're doing art, you know, or
Right.
else you might want to do something else. Um, but when gigs were happening, I had I had the teaching stuff, which was only like probably like 5 hours a week total commitment regularly. And then every weekend I would still be able to do gigs. It's not like I'm doing gigs uh, Tuesday and Wednesday from 11 to 3, So
Mm-hmm.
you could use that time for that. Uh, but it's good to just be able to develop other skills besides like four-way coordination on the drum set because, that's just not the total landscape of the job. A lot of
Nope.
it has to do with other things, and
Nope.
sometimes it's about the hang.
It's
Sometimes
important.
it's about how close you are to the gigs, you know?
Totally. Well, I think that's really. I mean, we hear it all the time, but that's such good information uh, to keep hearing. Like everyone out there that's trying to make it as a musician. Like you got to have your foot in a lot of doors. It's not just like a cubicle gig, 9 to 5 salary, or bitch an hourly rather too. But
Mm.
like you got to teach, you got to play, you got to record, you got to consult, you have to produce. There's more.
Yeah.
There's more to it than just waiting by the phone and getting that call, and that happens. Sometimes you can. I mean, I know I've been in parts of my life where I gig where I didn't have to teach anymore, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And I was just gigging, but then if you have to, I mean, especially talk to me a year ago, and
Yeah.
my online teaching has gotten a lot better. Using stuff like Zoom, stuff like I've used money to buy gear to do stuff like
Yeah.
this. Like being able to diversify your music, even if it's just your musical portfolio. It's like important to do. Like put music out there. People are listening to music more than ever. You know,
Hmm.
putting content
And
out there. Don't be scared to put content out there.
if I didn't start trying to learn how to record when I didn't have to, I'd be in a much more like rough position right now,
Mm-hmm.
trying to just like learn and, you know,
Yeah,
get the hang of it really quickly, cuz now it's like you have to remote record. And the whole landscape on social media has changed too.
sure.
Used to be that just like the guys who got good lighting and mics and could produce well, you're good on Instagram, Like people see those and they immediately want to watch it because it looks different than the rest.
Right.
Now it doesn't look so different. So we need to find new ways to change what grabs attention.
An idea. I'm gonna throw it out there because I don't even care if people are probably not gonna do it. It's so expensive, but a drum cover and or a live performance or a drum cover in like Super 8.
The movie.
No,
No,
Super 8
the
the camera.
format.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm not
dude. I
familiar.
mean, people appreciate, like any type of conceptual like take. Like as long, I mean, if this is like you're going for like a grainy footage or you're going for like that VHS style, like I think
Yeah.
people can see that you've put even an ounce of effort into it. I mean, we talk about old school 15-second Instagram videos, and you just at the mercy of your iPhone or your Android,
Yeah.
whatever the heck. People didn't care. It was all about crunchy hi hats and side view, but now
Yeah.
it's about multiple camera angles. You know, 8 microphones, as we were talking about earlier, and
Low pace,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, and if I could say one more thing, like I forgot who said this, but I think it's a really good take. When you see a person on the side of the road and their car is broken down and you see them just sitting in their car, people pass by them all the time like they got someone coming, or like, they're just waiting for AAA or whatever. When you see someone outside pushing their car themselves and maybe even not making any progress, but you see them doing that, people more often will stop to help.
yeah,
Something about people watching you push your own car inspires other people to want to work with you and collaborate or think about you later on when, like, oh, we need a drummer. There's that guy pushing his car, you know? I want him on my project because
man,
he
that's a
works hard
beautiful
for himself,
metaphor, actually,
you know?
because I saw that happen like literally 2 days ago. You know, right at
Yeah.
right at Pine and whatever Broadway, like ridiculous. That's cool. That's a great way to think about it. You could say a squeaky wheel gets the grease, but I like your metaphor way better.
Yeah. I think it's good to push your own car and put yourself out there and, work with people. I think like in college, you kind of get taught that like never work for under what you think you should be
Right.
worth, and that's just not a good way to think about it at all.
Yeah.
um, Not that people should be like underpaid or anything, but it's more about like developing relationships in the future. And if there's nothing for you there, then maybe it's not worth it to take it up. But I think in almost all cases, it is worth it to develop that relationship, even if you don't get paid right away.
Yeah. Gotta crawl before you ball. Woo! Love that one. That's what's up. Well,
Yeah.
man, Jack, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today and getting your take on drumming and getting to listen to a lot of your music. For everyone out there, again, make sure you check out jackperry.net, and you type in the real Jack Perry. Oh, Matt DiBiase in the house. Plexus
up?
Play in the house. What up, Matt?
Plexus?
What's up, man?
Catching the tail end here of the stream. Let's see if there's I'd love to pass people off to. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do a little raid on Kiefer's channel because I
Oh,
always
yeah.
love passing the ball to Kiefer when you can. That was a clever basketball metaphor for all y'all that are tuning in. And so, Jack, do you have any anything left? Any more wisdom metaphors? Because I could use another one.
No.
Okay. Well, this has been
Thanks
Jack
for having
Perry,
me.
everybody.
And follow the drum stream.
Jack Perry's been here. Bring out Brandon, myself, Matt. Thank you guys for coming through. I'm gonna press this raid button here, and I believe it's gonna happen. I think if I do this right. I think I have this button. See if it works. Come on now. Drum roll, please. I got a button for that. Got a button.
No, I'm sorry, man.
Well, it seems that my button doesn't want to work. But we can fix that. For everyone, again, if you're not subscribed to the drum stream, please follow us. We do have over 100 subscribers or followers now, which is so great. That means we can keep moving up.
Hell yeah.
We do have a donation jar in our about page. Go check that out. If you feel like being generous and giving to the stream really helps us keep the lights on here. We do have a website, www.thedrumstream.com, where you can see all the replays from our past streams featuring Gene Coy, featuring F. Roma Jr., featuring Kynwin Sterling. Many of our past, or all of our past drummers have great videos on there that we love to feature all these people. So anyways, love you guys. So let's do it. Take it easy.
So,
All right, bye, y'all.
go.